Oh my goodness me, that's overwhelming firepower. 3 regiments of the finest cavalry here moving. Look at that. That's steady now. Oh my goodness me, what a wonder to see this is. Double time, gentlemen! Don't stand there, lads, don't stand there. Oh. Oh, look at that, that's an absolute joy. Oh, the sheer firepower here, sir. Look at that, we've absolutely obliterated these armies. My goodness me, the strength of these British armies is quite exemplary, sir. Greetings and welcome to episode 53 of my Empire Total War Darth mod Great Britain campaign, and we have, my friends, for now at least, we have peace with Poland. Now, we were at the very last moment there, we really were battling hard to try and keep the Poles at a distance whilst we moved additional forces into position here, particularly here around Thrace. As you can see, we do have an army group assembling here just on the border here, but look at this. I mean, the sheer magnitude here of the Polish forces is quite concerning, to say the least. It really have brought a massive amount of troops down from their battle with France here in the north. Now, for a while we thought that they were still at war with each other, but no, they've actually brought peace to one another. So Dresden is sort of the high watermark of French sort of influence, shall we say, in sort of central Europe, and we have Stuttgart here, which is sort of the high tide mark of the same thing for the Poles. So as you can see here, they've brought their war to an end for now, so of course that has then freed up significant forces for the Poles to send down here into Bulgaria. Now they're obviously going to give very little time before they reassemble their forces and then move against us. We do have a very powerful defensive force here. Indeed, in the fortress here we have a specific fortress defending sort of army or garrison army in here. The council really did come forth here and said to us, you need to have a specific garrison army here. Its job is simply to hold back anything that's thrown at the walls here, which we now have. We have full settlement fortifications. We've also got a highly elite under General Ernok. Now, General Ernok did ask to be promoted, and of course with exemplary advice and also support, of course, that is no problems at all. General Örnek is now sort of, at the moment here, as part of this sort of force that is guarding Istanbul, a critical, crucial city in an entirety of what we have down here in the south. It really is vital. If we lose Istanbul, it will effectively wipe out our sort of enclave here. So we need to put the absolute best in here. And then we also have here another army, by General Adin here, is just sort of that sort of sitting there as well to defend. But this army here by General Örnek is an exemplary army. It is absolutely one of the finest armies we will find anywhere on this battlefield. It really is. But we also have, as you can see here, General Chris Zowaski here as well, who has been asked to be moved to the north here to fight against the Poles. Once that, of course, that next battle, and it will come, believe me my friends, that battle will come. Yes. And we also have General Sam Allen, who was also asked to be moved into the north as well. Now that is not to say that General Örnek will of course probably be joining this northern redoubt here, this northern defence here, but for the moment we just need to sort of replenish, gather our strength. We will probably look to assemble another army group here to sort of really sort of hit the Poles if they strike against us. Now, many of the councils are saying that we should allow the Poles to attack Istanbul, draw them onto the defences, absolutely give them a sound thrashing, and then with this army group here, counter into one of their flanks here, whichever flank is open or exposed. We've also had a huge call for us to move with great speed and great haste, and their army group should be assembled here on the border between Romalia and Serbia and hit Belgrade, and then from there swing as quickly as we possibly can here, almost like a backhand chop, as it were, a backhand slap, where we use the sort of the sea here, the Adriatic Sea, as a sort of an anvil, and we strike against the flank here, pushing them into the sea, the Polish forces into the sea, clearing Belgrade and Serbia and Sarajevo. Now, of course, that is completely dependent upon the Poles not reinforcing either of these very quickly. Now, that is probably not going to happen. As you can see, the speed they managed to send these forces down, it was very, very fast indeed. So we're going to have to really make the most of what we've got here and try and put at least another 2 army groups into the field if we possibly can. Now, of course, we've got 10,204 as our next income. Our army upkeep is going to steadily increase. Our tax income has sort of not faltered, shall I say, but it has plateaued, shall we say, for the moment. Our trade income the same, and we're going to try and get trade if the council did ask we get trade with Poland to try and keep them on friendly terms if possible. Let's see if they'll take that. Yes, indeed, they are. Now, they're indifferent with us. Now, that's additional trade which we're going to make the most of. 31,000, that's huge, sir. It really is. 31,000 there is a massive jump. That's how powerful Poland are. That's the sheer magnitude of what Poland can bring to the table there in terms of trade. And a number of council, I was initially going to take Damascus and then sort of hand it over to another nation, maybe France, the neutral nation, so that Russia wouldn't immediately pounce and retake it. But there's been a call within the council for us to keep Damascus, not to hand Damascus back over, and actually keep it as a sort of a foothold, our own first foothold in the Middle East, and also as a stepping stone to take Palestine as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to take Damascus, and then what we're going to do then is we're going to use it as I said, a springboard. As long as the Russians do not come after us here, there's every chance that the Russians might even move forces from Ankara or even from Jerusalem to try and remove us from Damascus. If that is the case, then we will of course withdraw, and we will try and hand this over to another neutral nation so that that does not happen. But of course, best laid plans don't usually work out. But again, we've got France here, so we could actually give it to France if things get a little bit edgy for us there. There's all options are on the table, but for the moment, and from the council's advice, we will actually be keeping Damascus and trying to build up some kind of foothold here in the Middle East to really take the fight to the Russians. But again, that remains on what happens here. Now, of course, there has been much discussion of what we do here in the Baltic. Now, many of the councils say, don't bother with Finland. Leave Finland alone. Leave it. Don't waste any time or resources or men, indeed, taking Finland. Withdraw from Finland and go straight for St. Petersburg. And to do that, we must know that this stretch is clear here. Let's see what's going on here. Now, there's an army here, but we need to know what's going on here. Now, if they are draining St. Petersburg, that's a sizable army they've got there, the Russians. That really is. They've also got a garrison here, so we're actually going to pull these forces back from here. We do actually outnumber and outgun the Russians here. So what we might do is pull these ships away, these sloops here. We will actually, if St. Petersburg is going to be free, we'll actually tackle this fleet here. But it also depends what's in here as well, because we do need to get forces. There's also been a call for us to take Riga as a stepping stone into actually moving against St. Petersburg, which might be a very good suggestion actually, and also then handing Sweden back to the Swedes proper. So we do have a powerful sort of ally here in the north, and that's what I think we might actually do very, very soon, is actually give them back here Stockholm. Once we've got ourselves up and running here, depending on what happens in the north, we will be giving Sweden back their homeland, as it were. Just excuse any noise in the background, my friends. You can probably guess whom that is looking for attention. So we've done all we can at the moment. We've now got trade with Poland. We're almost on the brink here of crushing in the last pocket here of Ottoman resistance. We do have, unfortunately, Crete here, which has been overrun here by Russian forces. Powerful Russian forces indeed. But they haven't moved out of here at all. And we are also looking to possibly put into position here another fleet. As you can see, we're upgrading to steam dry dock here, which is going to give us the ability to put first-rate, heavy first-rate into position here as well, and also some steamships, which we're definitely going to be looking to do. And that will help us boost and possibly even move into the Black Sea. Now, the Black Sea is vital, as you can see, the Russian. They're bringing 52,000 in here from the Russian and the Crimea, and of course the Crimea is vital to the Russian economy. If we can crush that, it'd be absolutely wonderful. But again, we have to be prepared for a really staunch defence here, almost a fanatical resistance here from the Russians. But let's end this turn here now. Let's just see if we can gather our strength here on the borders, maybe even look to be really ready for when the Poles strike again, because they will, believe me my friends, they will strike back against us. Is there anything else we can do here? No, there's not. New Spain is friendly, which is good to see. They're indifferent with us, -10. So the trade agreement has helped significantly here. Who knows what might fall here, but this will give us a chance to possibly build up a substantial army, even in armies, or army groups, should I say, that we may be able to move against the Poles in greater force. Anyway, let's quick look here. We've got here one more turn until we get improved coppering. We might look at rifled cannons here. We've got to really take every single advantage we can here. Enabled rifle cannons. Now we can open then top gallants, but ideally we'd like reserve foods for that morale there, +2 morale in battle. That's going to really tip the scales in our favour. What was that then we're missing here? We don't have shrapnel shot just yet. Percussion shells will be absolutely brutal. And what else do we have still to do? We've almost got full textile industries available to us. We do need abolition of slavery and secular humanism as well. But again, we will manage and use these major production centres we've got here to do what we need. But let's end the turn here, my friends. Let's just see what happens here. Excuse me, my friends, we'll have a quick beverage of tea, always available for a battle or a campaign. As you can see, they're moving away now. They're actually moving back a bit. No, they're moving away, forces away from the front line. Has something happened here to trigger this? Steady, gentlemen, steady now. Let's not have any shenanigans from you. So the first time they'll be able to move forces away here. Are they going to be hitting France, maybe? Sweden. They're hitting Sweden. Not good. I think it might be time for us to give Stockholm back to Sweden. I think it might be time, because quite clearly the Poland are going to turn their attention now towards Sweden. Here comes the reinforcements. I dare you, Ottoman Empire. I dare you, sir. Are they going to be moving back? Oh, they've moved out. They've moved out. They're moving back. They're moving back to St. Petersburg. No, they're moving back now. The plot thickens. Come on, Sweden. Don't give in here now, sir. Are we going to have to be propping up Sweden even more? Hurons. Improve coppering. Well, we've got the rifled cannon, but ideally we'd like to get top gallants and increase the movement speed. I think we'd like to get movement speed, I think. Well, the rifled cannons will probably do better for us, to be honest with you, in terms of that shot power would be much better. Almost got these ready as well. Oh, look at that. Oh, Field Marshal of Europe. Excellent, sir. We've got a Field Marshal of Europe here. I think he might come in very handy there indeed. We might use that Field Marshal. We might see a few promotions that we're also trying to build up another fleet here in Britain, in Portsmouth, to really ramp up our naval power here. Britain only has this one single fleet able to guard it. That's a magnificent fleet, it really is. But we need additional firepower here. Things are going to get very dodgy here. 35,000 now. Sweden is going to start feeling the pinch here if we're not careful. So, do we take the plunge and actually give them back here? But look at that, Finland is actually, there's nothing in here. We could actually take Finland here right now with not even a shot being fired.
You're humble, sir. Ready for battle.
Come on, surrender, sir. Yes. Now you take on the British, sir, and you pay the ultimate price. Now. We replenish and repair. Infrastructure is good here as well. We captured Finland. Get line infantry here as well. This is good to see. But ideally, what we need, let's quickly check here. Now, they've got absolutely nothing here guarding this at all. But they're going to move this force back here. They've still got this here as well guarding this. We've got to be careful what we're doing here. We could remove... And they have no ships in here whatsoever either. If we remove this fleet here, which I think is what we're going to do. We'll put these gentlemen here for the moment. We'll also have 2 more sloops of war here available. And we've got... I think we'll have 2 more heavy first rates here. Let's really start pushing out the boat here a bit while we've got chance. We've got peace. But we could move in here and take this here. It would bring about a massive response here from the Russians. We don't know what they might send from Moscow as well, so we're going to do this stage by stage. It might seem a little bit precautionary, but we don't want to jump in and lose an army group and then just have whole of Sweden just absolutely exposed. It's not going to do us any good at all. But I think what we might do is we might hand back Sweden. Excuse any noise here, my friends. From you can guess whom. I think what we will do, we'll quickly, well not quickly, but we will just make sure that we can. Oh, look at this, Swiss Grenadiers! My goodness me, sir! Absolute joy to see. Swiss Line Infantry. We are going to put together a force here. We're going to have some cuirassiers. So we're going to put another force here. We're going to build up this force here. Actually, we thought we got enough. No, we'll have 2 more two more versions of cavalry. We'll also put some cannon into. We're going to put another army here. Here. And then once this army is complete, then we're going to hand Stockholm back to the Swedes. We'll put Finland. We can actually use Finland now as well. Actually, they're not too bad here at all. That's additional income there as well. We won't upgrade or use any of this. We might even hand this back over to Sweden as well. And just absolutely expand. Mind you, look how many forces here of the Russians is loitering about. Absolutely ridiculous. The size of Russia is quite concerning, to say the least. Now, what do we have in Greece here? Now, these gentlemen are earmarked for here. Let's send them up to the front lines. So what do we need in here? We've got 3 cavalry, so we'll have 1 more cavalry regiment, and we'll also have some lancers. We'll also have some sharp shooters as well, I believe. Yes, indeed, sir. And which will allow... We're going to move up to the front lines here.
Yes, sir.
These gentlemen will just sit behind here in this forest here, in this sort of wooded area. We're going to start building up... Oh, look at that. We're going to start building up another force here. Not in secret, but just out of the gaze of the Poles here. They've moved forces away from here now. We're also going to start building up additional forces along the Greek border as well. So with that in mind, what have we got here? 38,000. That's gone down quite a bit there. My tax income has gone up, which is good to see. Let's start another army here. We've got to be careful we don't overextend our finances. But if we're going to make a push of this, we've got to really do what we can here. Got to wait for this to be completed as well. Wait a minute. These gentlemen are sat here, that's fine. It's going to take 5 turns for the steam engine factory to be at full capacity. 6 here for the same here. It's going to bring in a lot of regional wealth for us. So in the meantime, we're going to continue pushing here in the north. We might even just bypass all of these. Give Finland away. Who are Russia at war with? Just with ourselves. The allies of France. Now that means they'll be able to go through France and Ottoman Empire as well. How many more? How long before we can capture this here? Mind you, if we move in now and try and take this, it'll drag in these additional forces, which means we'll lose significantly more men here. Those organ guns can be absolutely brutish. Let's bring that under siege there. Let's not take any nonsense at all from the Ottomans. Oh, look at that. Russia's been hit here pretty hard because they've lost Finland from us. We just need to get St. Petersburg. If we get St. Petersburg, what a coup de main that would be. Right, let's end the turn. Have we got anything here as well, just in Britain, that we're leaving behind? Nothing we've left open. No, we've got this fleet here. We're trying to build up a second fleet here.
Ready.
We just want to guard the channel here. France, we've got a huge amount coming in here from France. Absolutely masses. That trading there is quite extraordinary with France. So they're bringing in a huge amount. Right, let's end the turn, my friends. Let's see what happens here. So hopefully that'll give us time to breathe here for a momentarily. And even if Poland might just strike against us again out of the blue, you have to be prepared for Poland to strike. That will happen. Now they're pulling out here. They're quite clearly aiming for Sweden here. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we've seen assault against Sweden at some point. I'd be very surprised. That's a... Wait a minute, don't you even think about it. This is why we're putting more forces into the British fleets. I'll be damned if we're going to let ourselves be caught on the hop here. Yeah, you just pull out of there. If you want to fight, then we'll oblige. How will Russia respond to what we're doing here? Yeah, they're pulling more forces from Moscow, as we suspected. Oh, this is strange here. They're moving there. Are they looking for a fight here? No, they're actually moving away. That's a sizable Russian fleet here. A lot of things manoeuvring here.
Reverse course.
We need to give Sweden back Stockholm. It's as simple as that. As soon as we've got those forces up and ready, then we shall be giving them back. Oh, excellent, sir.
Without further delay. Aha! Place of learning and culture.
Excellent. Oh my goodness me, look at this. These are wonderful. Look at the Prime Minister, fantastic. Excellent check at the Chancellor of the Exchequer, fantastic. +4, -12 to police costing, wow. Look at this, Secretary of War. Absolutely fantastic. What an election that was. Now, that's more like it, sir. That's more like it. Let's just bring these gentlemen out here. Let's flex our muscles a little bit here with the Poles. If the Poles want to fight, then by damn, they shall face the full might here of Britain. 34,000. Let's put some other ships in here. It might be better if we just have a few ships that are a little more nimble. Let's have some heavy frigates. The council did recommend we do that. We do have now a full garrison. Look at that. We are not going to be caught on the hop. We've got a full garrison now within London. Like I said, we're not being caught on the hop anywhere at all. Ireland has these Connaught Rangers. Look at that. I think we'll ship these gentlemen into Edinburgh.
Waiting for orders.
Just to make sure that Edinburgh is fully secure. Now Greece, a very important location for us. We are going to be moving these gentlemen. Let's move this force.
Orders, Your Majesty.
Don't, gentlemen, thank you.
March. Lord. March.
Oh, it's ready. It's absolutely ready here. Where are those steamships? There it is, look at that. The firepower, but look at the mobility high. We're going to have some steamships. Oh yes, indeed. This is why we need to keep Sweden open for ourselves just momentarily.
Ready and awaiting orders. Forward. March.
Can we bamboozle them here?
At your service. Anything else?
We need to do this.
Aye, aye, sir.
We need to do this, and we need to do it right now.
Prize money awaits.
I would fight this, my friends, but as you can see, we're going to quite clearly crush this navy.
We rule the way.
Lost 4 ships here. That's absolutely fine.
Aye, aye, sir.
We've lost a lot of ships there. My goodness me.
Set sail. Ship's
Right.
orders.
Let's get them back to full strength, and let's replace what we've lost. Excellent. We've got steamships coming in here as well. That's why John Hadley is no longer with us. Let's continue pushing here. We need to make another army group if possible here. We're going to make a very strong force, but we also need to reinforce the Greek border here with a force. And I think for that we shall put another army, 4 regiments, and let's get some cannon. 4-pounders. The same goes up here for this army up here. 24-pounders. Where are you, sir? Thank you. Actually, let's go howitzer heavy here, and 24-pound foot. Swiss line.
Yes, sir.
We should need a general in here. But we are going to strike against St. Petersburg right now, as the council has recommended.
Orders, Captain. Under sail and wait. Ship shape and Bristol fashion. Awaiting further orders. Yes, Captain. Ship's orders. Captain. Ready for orders. Come about. Sir. Forward, Lord. Heave away, boys. Heave away. For orders. Officer on deck. Yes, Your Majesty.
Oh, look at these forces here, absolutely incredible. We need to make sure they're all going to arrive at the same time.
Ship's orders received. Ship's orders. Ready for action. Awaiting further orders. All hands ready.
I should maintain.
Settlement besieged. Orders. Under sail. In position. You ask too much.
You ask too much, sir.
Aye, sir. Weigh anchor. Still ready and waiting. Onwards.
And Britain has finally landed here.
On deck. Still shipshape. Where to, Captain? For country. For honor.
We've got them.
For the prize.
We've got them, my friends. Now, can we actually take this?
Under siege.
I think we can. Let's take this. We're going to take St. Petersburg. There's no really resistance. How can we lose that many? Yes, the ultimate goal has been taken here. First thing we must do is quickly replenish.
Sir.
Because we will see a brutal, possible
Orders, Your Majesty.
reprisal here. Let's get this up and running here immediately. We don't have the money for that just yet. What a fight. Let's see what's coming our way.
Keeping vigil. I cannot go there.
Oh, we've got St. Petersburg now. We need to know what we're going to do here with Finland. Now we've got Finland. We can give this now to a... But the problem is this will then put these forces in Riga. So if we give Finland away, there's going to put all of these forces that are in here into Riga. Might they can hit us anyway, but at least we'll know where they are then. Now whom do we give this to? We can't give it to Sweden. There's Spain. Now who is Spain at war with? They're at war with Genoa. Now they've got trade partners Russia. Now if we give that to Spain, they are very friendly with us. There's the Mughal Empire. They're allies of Russia. There's Poland, who are at war with Sweden, but no, we don't want that. There's France. They're not at war with anybody at all. Now I'm leaning towards possibly Spain here. Well, New Spain. Now New Spain are indifferent. Something's happened here. They've dropped quite considerably here. I've got a feeling I might give this to Spain. Because they're only at war with Genoa and they've got trade partners with Russia. But we are very friendly with them. It would put... Friendly with them, but our best prospect is here. If we want to give it to France, I think we're going to give it to Spain because they are probably our we could give it to Sweden, but they're not going to be able to hold it. That's the problem. We don't want to give it to Sweden and then for it to be taken off them immediately because they can't hold on to it. There's no point there. So I think what we'll do, we'll give it to, we don't want to give it away as any peace deal. We're not going to give it back to the Russians as for peace. We want to hold on to St. Petersburg unless we do give it back to them for peace. We get peace with Russia. Let's see if we can request peace with Russia. And we'll give them back Finland. Will that work, I wonder? Yes, of course. And the council actually did say that. Why not give it? We've got peace now with Russia. Can we open up trade negotiations with them? Yes, indeed, sir. So now we've got this. It is ours. So we can now hold on to St. Petersburg here, our foothold. We can then, once these gentlemen are ready here, we then move them into here, and then we will give Sweden back Stockholm. Although they'll be fighting the Russians by themselves then, that's not, you know, they'll be strong enough then to fight. And if needs be, we can then strike against the Russians. We can even strike against Moscow, possibly. Moscow is not held by a strong force at all. We've actually taken Finland with no casualties and then given it back for peace. We're going to have to give Sweden back Stockholm. We're going to have to do it. Yes. We've got Luger as well now. Absolutely fantastic. I think we'll go for... We'll go for abolition of slavery here. Let's get rid of that abomination there. Slavery, which no man should suffer. Or woman for that matter. As you can see, we've got 6531 here. Now if we can give Sweden back this here, this will give them a huge boost to their economy. They might be able to start pushing back. We've just got one, we'll let it go for one more turn, then these will... Now that we've got St. Petersburg, do we really need this here? What can we get in St. Petersburg here once this is back up and running? Oh, rifles, we get all the things we want here, but no, we can't get the Swiss line infantry in that sea here. That's the problem. Right, let's end the turn here. Let's see what happens. Whoa, 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 whoa. What the blazes? Minus 23,928? Of course. Whoa, 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 whoa. How did that happen? How did that happen? Unless because we were raiding this here. Oh, that is an absolute gobsmacker there. I don't understand. Why have we got minus 23,000 here? How come our trade income has dropped like a stone? Looks like taxes are going to have to go up. To offset this, I'm afraid, we're going to have to raise taxes right up. I have no idea why that has happened. What the blazes happened there? Why have we suddenly lost 20? Why have we minus 23,000? I don't understand that at all. That is absolutely... Am I missing something here? Why has my trade income gone down to 21,000 from 44? Am I missing something here? I must be missing something here. That means we have to cancel all of this. All cancelled. And I think we're going to give this back to Sweden here. Let's open up another trade route for them. Maybe that will help us here. We've got to give this back to Sweden. We've just got to do it now. To be how our hand has been forced. I must be missing something, my friends. Maybe it's my tiredness has just sort of made my brain go off somewhere. But if you can tell me why that dropped so suddenly, because we suddenly started trading. We've got more trade coming in, yet our trade has dropped. Oh, I'm completely confused. But we are going to give them back. Sweden. And so it is. There it is, my friend. What the blazes? Of course, we've Of course we've given away with our major trading. Of course there's still...
More orders.
That is so strange. But I know we've given away Stockholm because we've had to do that because Sweden are in trouble, but we've put ourselves in a lot of trouble here. Financially at least. Oh, here we go. Hang on a minute. Wait, you've got to be joking me. Looks like the war is about to continue. It looks like the war is about to continue again in earnest. As I suspected. There's going to be another fight brewing here. We had a massive income and all of a sudden, nothing. This is so confusing. Oh, it really is. Have we just shot ourselves in the foot? Moving into Riga here. Sweden. Come on, Sweden, get yourself together here. Ooh. We've still got 11. This will be added to your treasury. I just don't get it. We've got to be ready here to strike back against them here.
Your Majesty? Men! Forward! Your humble servant.
This is very, very strange to me indeed. I'm going to cancel all the shipbuilding. We simply cannot afford the shipbuilding at the moment. And Poland would not be there unless it was after... Oh my goodness me, that's a staggering force. Oh, look at Blackwasher here as well. Four regiments.
Aye, sir. Enemy sails! Run up the colours!
This is strange. This is just cannot be right here. We've got this is wrong here. This is glitch. No, it hasn't. It's right. We're 13,499 down here. We've got to take Syria here.
Siege works underway. Come on!
I'm not sure how that will do. It should be in our favour here. Let's do this.
Strength
Yes!
and honor.
Have we taken Damascus now? Finally at last, sir. Come on, gentlemen. Come on now.
A
Yes. 20,000. Our trade has gone up now considerably. What we need to do is bring this under our control as soon as possible. Okay, cool. -2 only here. Yes. Ottomans gone. No more. Ah, pirates. So the Ottomans had the Bahamas. So now we have this coming in as well here, or going out, should we say, in commercial port. Let's really sort of ramp up our production here. Let's get this army replenished.
Aye, aye, sir.
Can't trade with anybody else just yet. But we might be able to really push our wealth here to compensate for what we've just taken a hit with. I'd rather invest in this here and improve our chances of our economy recovering. Because 9865 here. Russia, I doubt Russia will stand much for that, to be honest with you, but... Wait a minute, where have those forces gone here? Ah! Of course! No way are we spending 7,000 here. Not a chance. But can we, bit by bit, bring our battered empire here back up to full? Mind you, we do have a significant amount of troops just standing around here. So if Poland hit us, we're going to hit them hard here. We're going to drive really hard. We're going to move these forces we have here, General Ernuk. We're going to strike against them hard and clear this flank. Look at that, they're coming in from Russia. 125,000 here coming in through here. There's no point having these sat here. What we are going to do...
That's land, sir. Make ready. Heave away, boys. Heave away. Orders received and understood. Any orders? Waiting further orders.
No one will know. Going
Nothing in sight here at all. Let's get all of this up and running here.
Lord. At the ready. Orders, Captain. Ship's orders received.
We might have done ourselves a disservice here, but still. It's up to Sweden to sort this out. If Sweden were able to get rid of this Polish force here, just push them out here, then it would be a much better for us. Much, much better, so... Let's get this force here as well. We now have a firm foothold here in Russian territory. We had to have a lot of troops we can't really afford to keep at the moment. Trade with that. If we only had Swedish trade open here, it would be a boon to us. We could push levels absolutely to the maximum here and get 234 there in tax. That's going to be what we're going to need to do here. And then bit by bit we will just reduce things. We'll actually hit the nobility here, I think. It's minus 4,200. We're going to have to hit them here. With full tax rates here. We just got to ramp the tax up to get ourselves back on an even footing here. But if Russia attack us again, or we could even move against, we've got St. Petersburg now. Let's end the turn here. France. This will be the last turn here, my friends, of this particular episode. I might give a couple. We might give a few more turns in. Poland's going to attack us again. Poland will attack us again. You can just absolutely get a feeling in your bones. Yeah, they're stationary, their troops ready, their forces ready. No, oh, wait, they're not. Unless they're going to try and take St. Petersburg. Ah. They've probably picked up additional forces. Where are you going exactly? If you come for London... Ooh. Yeah, they're not... That's just they're just a spot away from us here. Russia. You just stay away, sir. Now they're moving forces up to the border here. We're going to have another fight with Poland and Russia, I think, at the same time. Come on, Sweden, push those forces out. That's absolutely fine. 146, my goodness me, we've absolutely ramped up the tax rate here to full. And things are starting to go belly up here. Have we just shot ourselves in the foot here? Possibly. This will be the last of our forces we're going to use here. We've got to do something with these. And what we will do is we'll just move these gentlemen to here, to the border here. We're going to push against the Poles because they will attack us. We're going to be ready for that. Got an army group in position now. It's quite clear they're going to strike against us, Poland. That's a given. If that happens, then we're going to strike against them hard here. We're going to crush in this particular front here. We're going to move against them here. We're going to move against them, and we're going to cut off their forces coming in here. And we're going to start attacking them with the whole here, because quite clearly they're aiming for this here. That's a pretty strong army they got there. We're going to move against Belgrade.
Yes, my lord. Ship's orders under sail. Fleet ready. Awaiting.
We've got nothing in Croatia at all.
Ready for action.
I wonder if an attack around Croatia, mind you, that would open up Greece here.
Waiting.
Oh, minus 2,053. Come on, sir. It'll have to be that. We're upgrading these, we have to wait for some of our upgrades to kick in here. We could even go against Ankara, we could even strike against. But we can't, we've got to hold on to this just the moment. Tax burden is going to really kick in here. We've had to ramp up our tax. Unless we release some of these ships here.
Orders, Captain. Make ready. Ship's orders received.
We've got to disband some of these ships here to bring down our burden here of our costs. We've got to do it. We simply cannot afford to run all these ships.
Majesty. Aye, aye, Captain. Officer, on deck. Ship's orders. All away.
We've got Ingrid, we've got St. Petersburg here.
Yes, sir.
We've got these magnificent troops.
Immediately.
But ideally what we need to do is strike against Poland here and start taking some of their forces. Convert some of these. Managed to bring down to 1968 here. We might have to disband some of our armies as well here. To bring down, but they're going to attack us here.
Yes, Your Majesty.
We need to be prepared here. We're going to take a hit here. We're going to take a hit financially here. We've got to move against Poland. We've just got to. We can't afford to stay stationary any longer. But Andrew, if you go against Poland, who will we drag into the war? Only Genoa. Or Genoa. That's all to be dragged into the war. And they're at war with Spain anyway. We might have to move against Poland here to really take the fight to them. Mind you, they're going to absolutely throw everything they can at us here. Right, let's end the turn, my friends. See what happens here. I think Poland are going to attack us this turn now. But my goodness me, things have gone absolutely belly up here. They really have. Come on, Poland, do what you need to do here. Oh, look at that. Yeah, I thought so, sir. Haven't got the guts for it, have you, sir? Unless we start moving into some trade hubs. I think it might be time for us to get some trade hubs going here. Can we move into any trade hubs? Are there any left? By damn, it's a difficult situation. Come on, Poland. If you're going to strike, do it. They're itching to. Interstellicus, Russia are moving away here. Mind you, they're powerful forces here. They're moving through. We might aim for Moscow, but we'll take the council's advice here what we should do. Pirates are here. Oh, minus 2,345. Okay, so I think it's time we reduced our naval costs here. We've got to cut our cloth accordingly. These ships will have to be scuppered. Let's scupper some of these. We're going to have to do it. Minus 289. We've dropped our navy upkeep here. But even then, we're just shy here. We've got to cut our cloth according here. We just simply cannot afford these ships. We've pushed ourselves into a place now where we just need the cash to come in. Can we cut any of the armies? We've got to keep Britain safe here. There's something we've decided to do here, so we've just got to take it. There's no point in crying here over spilt milk. What we're going to have to do is, I think we have to push. Oh, look at this. We can't afford any of these, which is absolutely fine. We've got minus 2614. We're going to be bankrupt. difficult times. Difficult times for us. I think it's about time here. We're going to have to make a move here. We cannot sit on our hands any longer.
Aye, aye, sir.
It's as simple as that.
Orders received.
I think the time has come for us to take the push and move against Poland here and start taking some of these territories to really push our own front. Otherwise, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. Financially, we cannot afford to keep these armies where they are, just standing around anymore. We're going to have to move against Poles here. We're going to have to. Right. $925 here. We've upgraded this here, so that's almost going to be done. This is almost going to be done as well. Here, this army's at full strength, so we're going to keep this here. We might even move against. I wonder if we can move against Palestine here, Jerusalem, and take this from the Russians. The tax rate there would probably. Might you look at that? That's not being reduced, even with the tax rate being where it is. So we're on to. We're not doing. Oh. Going to be fixed very soon here. We're going to tune it, but that will be coming in as well. So that now going, this will boost us. So we've got to hang on, but we've got to move against the Poles. Do you think, my friends, we move against the Poles? I'm going to leave this in the council's hands here because we've got to do something here. Because you can see we're going to be bankrupt next episode, next turn. That goes without saying. It's down to 48% our popularity because, as you can see, we did actually move against. And got peace with a number of our enemies here, and it doesn't look like it's gone down too well. But looks like it's going up now. So we're slowly but surely our trade will increase and improve here bit by bit over the years. But we've got to take the fight to Poland, and possibly even Russia as well. So there's every chance we might be moving against the Russians and the Poles at the same time. And the main reason we're going to be doing that is so we can actually have some money. If we went for Moscow, we'd probably get this far. We could actually move to the border here. Now, what do we have here?
Yes, my lord.
Very strong forces here, we really do.
Ready for orders. Your orders, your majesty.
I think what we will do is move to the border here,
Immediately. Take ready. Ready.
where these army groups
Your orders, your majesty.
in preparation.
Yes,
Now, if the
lord.
council gives the go-ahead,
Take ready. Yes. What? Anything more?
what we will be doing
Ready
is we will
and
be
waiting
moving
for orders.
against Russia as well. We're going to move against Poland. We're going to move against Moscow. We would get to Vishny here, and then our next stop would be Moscow. Now, if we got Moscow, I mean, our financial troubles would be over, basically, and we would rip out the heart of the Russian Empire. If we move against the Poles, we're going to have to strike hard and fast here. We're going to have to strike against Sofia here. That's going to draw in all of these forces here. It's going to be an almighty battle. We'd have these forces in to replenish and sort of back us up. We would then move against Belgrade as well, hit them here. This is going to be a tough fight here because they've outnumbered us considerably here. So this force would be in a huge amount of trouble. We could, of course, move out of Patras, move this force out of Patras, move it up to here, up to Greece. At the border here into Greece. We can move it through Patras, move along here to go through the mountains here, but they'd have to ultimately move along this path here along the border here to sort of so Patras would be drained of forces. Religious unrest here is pretty high, but still what happens if we move them out?
By the left.
That's the problem. See, -3.
Your hump.
So you'd have to leave it. We don't even have for a garrison here. Goodness me. 16 here, so that's okay here. But Patras would be a problem. We might have to drain Athens here and move a force down to here to hold it. But we've got to do something, my friends. We might even move against Russia as well at the same time. Now we've brought this under control. We've got a good garrison to hold St. Petersburg. But if we were to take Moscow, our financial problems would be over. They would be over, my friends. We would rip the heart out of the Russian Empire, and I think we would then be back on the front foot. So we're going to look at possibly declaring war on Russia at least, and maybe moving against Poland. But I'm going to leave that in your capable hands, my friends. We've put ourselves, or I have put ours where we are now. We've put ourselves in a position. We've given Stockholm back, which hit us in the pocket. But we had to do the right thing. We had to move and have Sweden take back its homeland here. Hopefully we're going to hope. But of course they've just allowed the Poles to just basically blockade our Hus here and just stop the trade. Otherwise we would be okay. Probably if they opened up the trade here, we'd be fine with them. Absolutely fine with them here. But unfortunately they haven't done that. So that's affecting them here. It's affecting us a lot. Well, we've got 2,495 coming from here, from Malmo, but if they'd open up this as well, it would really solve all of our sort of financial problems. We're almost back into an even position here, but we're not at the moment. Growth is going to suffer here at the moment while we're doing this, but that's something we just got to take. We've got to take that hit. But my friends, I'm going to leave this in your capable hands, and you are going to decide what we're going to do here. We can attack either Russia and head straight for Moscow, and I mean literally head straight for Moscow off the bat. They would attack us. This army would be probably moved in to try and take St. Petersburg, but by that time these armies would be well on the road to Moscow. And we could also move against Poland, or we could hold here against Poland and just focus all of our firepower here on taking Moscow. If we take Moscow, we would be in a fantastic position. We'd have a massive area then from which we could build and replenish, and we'd have a huge boost to our economy, because look how many mines they've got here. All their steam factory engines. I mean, our financial problems would be effectively over in one fell swoop. So that's what I want you to consider, if you would please, my friends, and let me know what you think I should do here. I'm going to keep our spies searching for any armies, but by the time any armies reached Moscow, it would be over. We've also got a very strong garrison here to hold against anything coming in for St. Petersburg, and with backup here as well, which is fantastic to see. But my friends, I'm going to leave this in your capable hands. Also, if you let me know if you want us to attack Poland as well, we could move against Belgrade. We'd have to move an army up here with Greece to sort of help solidify this border here. As you can see, our profits are down considerably here, but we've just got to take this hit until we can get ourselves back on our feet financially. Unfortunately, for some reason, our trade's just sunk through the floor. It's going to take a while for these to build up here. But if we lose the Russian trade and we lose Poland trade, we're going to be in trouble. We're going to be in a lot of trouble, because it's 5,000 additional. So we're going to have to do something pretty drastic here to get this back up and running. Or we could just be looking at possibly the end of everything, unless we could move against Sweden, possibly turn against an ally. The allies of France, though, and France would probably declare war upon us. So we could take Sweden out. We could turn on an ally. That would not set us very well in diplomatic stakes. But again, you know, it is what it is, my friends. I'm not going to sort of hide from our situation. There's absolutely no point in doing that whatsoever. We are where we are at the moment. I'm going to leave it in your capable hands. Or do we move into the New World, perchance? But mind you, look at France. I mean, that's just ridiculous. We've got Spain here, so we could take Bahamas, but that's not going to ease our problems. The Mughals have got Dutch and French Guyana. So I think possibly all of this is out of our reach at the moment. We've got Texas here. Poland have got New Mexico for some reason. But I'm going to leave this in your capable hands, my friends, and you can decide, and hopefully help me decide what's going to happen here. We can't sustain these armies unless we reduce our army upkeep here, uptake, and we could probably remove this army here, and it would bring us back into a surplus. We could probably actually remove these two cuirassiers. Mind you, the upkeep costs here aren't going to help very much. But I'm gonna ask for the council to help here, and what we decide what we do here. If we move against Russia, remember, it's going to drop our income down, where we're not going to be able to sustain our armies for very long. So we might have actually fought ourselves into a corner in some ways. We could always move against Sweden, because that income there from Sweden, mind you, it has been there for a long time. Mind you, the trade from Sweden is cut off, so we're not actually getting anything from Sweden. So we could turn back upon Sweden and retake this. I know it would be a really silly thing, but we could take Stockholm. That would sort our problems out. We could take Norway, and we could take Sweden back again. As you can see here, but that would be a heck of a fight. It really would. My goodness me, they got some strong forces here. But we could take Copenhagen. We could take Sweden back. We could take Norway. Remove Sweden. Bring this back under British control. Our problems in terms of money would be effectively over. Then we'd have two powerhouses here. We can move against Russia. But I can leave it in your capable hands, my friends, how we actually get ourselves out of this dire straits we're in here. We could even trim our army upkeep. To make sure to bring this back down, the army upkeep, to trim this back, to sort of streamline our forces. But my friends, I'm going to end this episode here. We are in a little bit of a situation here, but we have been in a little worse situations. I'll be honest with you. We did what we had to bring in. We had to get peace with Poland. If Poland do declare war upon us again, I think we might have to raid some of their trade lines here. And we'll have to start looking at maybe raiding some of their trade lines and striking hard against them. Where's their main trade line, I wonder? Looks like it could be Memel here. If we could hit Memel, maybe that would make them think twice. Same with Russia. If we could hit the Russian trade route here and really bring this under sort of siege, as it were, this trade route, and siege, then hit this, blockade this trade route here, we would bring in massive amounts of money. But I'm going to leave this in the council's hands, my friends. We're in a little bit of a sticky situation. We've been in far worse situations than this, and we've dug ourselves out of it. We've got peace with Poland, we've got peace with Russia, and we're looking to try and get that peace so we can get ourselves established. Unfortunately, it's putting us in a pretty sticky situation. We're going to have to think out of the box here to get ourselves out of this. But we will succeed, my friends. We will succeed. But until next time, my friends, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please keep your comments coming down below. Please get those comments in this time, because we're definitely going to need your help this time, my friends. I really am. And if you think I've sort of, neglected or not involved any of your sort of comments previously, I've tried to involve. I know many of you are saying get peace with Poland if possible, get peace with Russia by giving them Finland, and give Sweden back Stockholm as well to get them back into the fold. Unfortunately, in one way or shape or another, probably because the way I've sequenced it, it's gone against us slightly here, but we will dig ourselves out of it, my friends. But I'm going to need your help this time for absolutely definite here. I'd like to thank all of you for your wonderful advice. It has been really, really exemplary. It really, really has. But again, my friends, thank you again, and please keep your comments coming down below. But until next time, my friends, bye for now.